Hello, hello. Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Report. This is our second episode where we're going to be talking about celebrity conspiracy theories. If you haven't checked out our first one, we kind of talked about aliens, extraterrestrial theories. I highly recommend you check that one out. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. But in this one, we're going to dive into a little bit of O.J. Simpson, maybe some Menendez brothers, some Bob Marley, and potentially a few more.
Tupac as well.
Yeah, and Tupac.
A little bit nicer setup this time, huh?
Yeah. Beautiful setup. We got a mic, a camera.
Yeah, that's nice.
Way more professional.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the first one we're going to dive into is the Menendez case.
Yeah,
so you want to talk about that a little bit, Kennedy?
Yeah, of course. So pretty much like the conspiracy is like, why did they kill their parents?
Right.
And some people think that it was very suspicious at the fact that they, like 6 months after their parents' death, they spent an estimated $700,000 on
crazy.
luxury items. For example, like Lyle bought a Rolex, a Porsche, and a whole restaurant in Princeton, New Jersey. Eric bought a Jeep Wrangler, hired a tennis coach that cost $50,000 annually, and invested $40,000 into a rock concert that ended up with him getting scammed.
I wonder if Eric would have been a pro tennis player.
I feel like
No,
actually, you would think, but
And y'all watched the Netflix documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like. I'm not gonna put anything like bad blood out there. Also, I feel like we definitely should say this before we start. Anything we say is not for fact.
Yes.
Right. It's all conspiracy.
Yeah, it's all
conspiracy.
And, obviously, it's Hollywood. It's they're gonna just I know most of Ryan Murphy's stuff. He exaggerates a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys watched, but it was the whole thing with they seem pretty spoiled.
No, they did. They grew up in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
They were the Beverly Hills rich kids.
Yeah, their dad was a big CEO of a video distribution company. He would work. He would go to the Grammys, the Oscars. He was a big deal.
Yeah. I haven't seen the documentary, but I've seen the show on Netflix. Have you seen
The Monsters?
Yeah.
Monsters.
Yeah, that's super good. I don't know if all the facts are true.
I've heard that the Menendez brothers have gone out and said that the Monsters is not accurate.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Just I think some things with it.
Yeah.
Which is also making their story of how they killed their parents even more confusing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think the main debate here is why did they kill their parents?
Yeah, exactly.
There's two different stories. There's the side from the Menendez where there was abuse claims and lots of things
with
like
dad.
that. But I think the question is, do you believe the Menendez brothers? Do you believe these guys, or did they really just do it for money?
Exactly.
What the prosecution team was
I think
claiming.
it is for sure money motivated. Just because instantly, as soon as they died, there's no grief at all. It's just buying everything.
Yeah, but
there was no grief process.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be because they were so upset about the abuse? They just were ready for their parents to be out of their lives completely.
If I was sad, I wouldn't go spend almost $1 million.
That is true.
I don't remember the time span, but it's 6 months. 6 months,
6
right?
months,
So
yes.
that's insane. That's, I don't know, to me,
Maybe that's their coping
grieving.
mechanism, though. These are just Beverly Hills kids.
Yeah, they've lived
this is
in
what
Beverly
they
Hills.
know. They know how to spend money.
Right.
Mm-hmm, they do. But
100%.
Also, the thing that's a little suspicious is the fact that their first trial was broadcasted live on court TV, and then the jurors asked for the second trial, but the second trial was not recorded. But wait, the first trial, half of the jurors believed them for the abuse and half of them didn't, so they created a second trial, but then it ended up with all of them not believing the abuse at all, which convicted the brothers of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. So, I don't know if it was because it was broadcasted that could have changed their mindset about it.
It also kind of, I don't know about in the Netflix show, they just kind of make them seem like they love the fame too.
Yeah, exactly.
They love me, but also it is Netflix. Like I said, I feel like they also are kind of trying to make it a really entertaining show and dramatize it a lot. So it's kind of hard to really separate fact from fiction and what actually happened. At the end of the day, we weren't alive at the time.
That is true.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the only people who really know the motives is Eric and Lyle Menendez.
Exactly.
And that's the only people who will ever know the true motives.
Yeah.
Maybe what's his name? Maybe the therapist, because they confided a lot with.
That's true.
The therapist was had a big role in the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. My thing is like with that case is like the abuse all came from the father.
Well, mostly the sexual abuse did, but
then why'd they kill their mom?
She was she knew it was happening the whole time, but didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
also this is also coming from them.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hard to because the evidence behind that, I don't really think there was like some evidence presented in trial, but obviously there wasn't enough to let them off.
Oh yeah, because no one really knew what was going on inside that house. Besides Eric and Lyle.
Yeah, and I feel like obviously with the whole Netflix documentary coming out now, you obviously want to dramatize it to get a reaction out of the viewers.
For sure.
So it's kind of hard to separate that fact from fiction right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Do you think that they've served their time and they're ready to be free?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Me personally, I feel like there was abuse involved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know to what extent, but I feel like the way that they were reacting to things in court, I don't know. It just something about their attitude and emotions just seems off.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's something. Yeah, if you watch the court trials, there's definitely some disingenuousness.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
yeah.
It didn't feel like they had genuine remorse for what they did.
Yeah,
especially considering how brutal the murder was.
So brutal.
Insanely brutal.
Yeah.
So brutal.
Yeah.
And also the crazy thing is the murder happened August 20th of 1989, but randomly it's being talked about again now on social media.
Yeah.
It's because of that Netflix documentary.
Yeah. And there's a possibility of them getting out of jail.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I mean, the biggest piece of evidence for me is that they wrote a letter. I can't remember which one. It says from one of them that they sent to a cousin years before he was ever murdered, and it described all the abuse that is from his father and everything.
Okay.
So I feel in my opinion, that's the biggest that's the biggest piece of evidence right there, is because it's this was years before they even got convicted.
I feel like there's no debate that they're being abused. But to the extent that they did what they did, I don't know, I don't know
but
if it's justified.
It's been happening since their childhood.
So I think to kind of wrap up this Menendez case, I think we should go around and kind of give our thoughts on why did they kill their parents?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you guys think so?
So, you want to go?
I said earlier, I think it's the money more than anything.
Yeah.
I know they were abused, but I feel like money was their main driver to doing what they did.
Yeah. I think it was in my opinion, it was a little bit of both. I think with recency bias of the whole documentary that just came out, or the monster show, I feel like it kind of puts that light on the abuse, and but at the same time we don't really know what's true and what's not from that.
Exactly.
Right.
And I feel like we're living in the time, especially with the fact they just dropped a bag in 6 months.
I know.
Of all of their money.
Yeah, and they knew when they were going to murder them that they would get their dad's trust fund out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's also, it's kind of
that's another
suspicious.
thing too. Did they do anything before did they check and see if they were gonna get the money?
Yeah, they did.
I think
they did.
Really?
If the show Monsters is accurate, which I know you said previously, there's a lot that's changed or whatnot, but it seems like they went through a lot to get the will.
Oh yeah,
a lot.
Yeah,
they went through a lot. They really wanted that money.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's kind of my thing. I think it's kind of 50-50.
I'm kind of with Perry on it. I think there's a gray area. I think the abuse definitely played a role. I don't know if I'd quite say 50-50. I think the money was the bigger driver in all this, because I feel like if the money didn't play a role, they would show some remorse.
Do you think if they weren't rich at all, they would have killed him at all?
Me personally,
it's
that's a hard question.
Honestly, yeah, because my opinion, I do agree with y'all, but I kind of believe that it was more about the abuse. I don't know if it's just like a girl thing, but I believe money was involved, but also they grew up with that lifestyle. So it's like, I don't know, that's kind of my point on it, but I don't know. I feel like they were abused since they were little, and like they were emotionless towards the murder because of how long they've been abused, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. I think so as well. I kind of agree with that.
That's kind of why I said like 50. I think you could really go either way with this. Right. At the same time, like no one knows about the abuse besides the
Lyle
two people who were murdered and Lyle and Eric.
Right.
Exactly.
All right, well, I think we're going to transition a little bit more into the O.J. Simpson case now.
Yeah.
This one's crazy to me.
I could go for hours about this.
Yeah.
Wait.
I think it's like, did he murder Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman or
yes.
not? That's yes. Yeah.
So I will say I always believed that until I did a little more research into it, and I was looking into it, and they were talking about O.J. Simpson's oldest son. What's his name? Jason
Simpson, yes.
Right, so he had like struggled with mental health. He had past offenses, and he had an affinity for knives. So
really?
I feel like they looked into him.
Yeah.
He was one of the main suspects as well. So he pulled a knife on his boss. He almost killed his 2 ex-girlfriends. So, I feel like that alone...
This guy was crazy.
Just...
How old was he at the time when,
he was grown. Like, he was... I don't know.
He was an adult.
He was
okay.
in
But
his 30s, I think. I don't know.
If you think about it, like, don't some murderers have, like, a genetic thing wrong? Or, like, it's, like, a genetic thing that, like...
Like, mental health issues?
Yeah, it's, like...
Yeah.
Also, like, OJ could have, like, the same... brain as his son,
and it runs in the family.
Yeah,
OJ was definitely screwed up too. Even if he didn't commit the murders, he's had other legal troubles in the past.
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't know.
So he's definitely screwed up.
I don't know how much I believe it because it says when his mom died, he Justin. You're talking about Justin, right?
Jason.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to say Justin was 5 years old.
That would be impressive.
That would be crazy. That would be.
But well, back to OJ. Kind of. I think so. For the evidence that goes against him for being guilty, so OJ and Nicole had recently divorced at the time of the murder.
Yes.
And Nicole and Ron Goldman have been growing close, is the quote I wrote.
Okay.
They've been growing close, and those were the 2 that were murdered.
Yeah.
Right.
OJ's blood was found on the glove at the scene of the crime, and the glove matched another glove that was found at OJ's residence.
Yes.
There was a hat at the crime, and it had hair that matched OJ's hair.
Got it.
There were shoe prints that matched the shoe size that OJ wore.
Wow, okay.
And OJ had 9 different police visits of spousal abuse with Nicole during the relationship.
Wow.
And OJ, 10 years later, wrote a book called If I Did It.
Okay, yeah. That kind of confirmed it.
That just confirmed it right there.
I don't know what he was thinking when he wrote that book.
Come on.
He literally, basically is.
If I were the family of Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman, what are you thinking when OJ writes a book called If I Did It?
Right, God, you're disgusted.
That's so insensitive.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
I
think it's what you're saying. I think it's extremely insensitive to write something especially a fact that's dude, that was your wife.
Exactly.
Are you serious? And going a little bit back, Jason was 24 years old, so that's also. I think that could play a role into it. At the same time, have you guys watched any of the OJ documentaries where they show that how at the end of a jury case they state out their evidence that they have against it and pretty much just state out a little bit what he said plus a hell of a lot more. So
that was just the baseline.
I'm thinking as a jury, how do you sit there, look at that, and be like, I don't know, I don't think he did.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
The glove doesn't fit.
Who was the
Here's the not guilty side of this.
Okay, the not guilty.
It was Johnny Cochran was the prosecutor.
Okay,
So Johnny Cochran did a great job of flipping the script because you remember the whole stuff came out about the detective on the case that he was
Mark Furman.
Mark Furman. So Furman, they pretty much found these tapes of him being like incredibly racist, like incredibly racist. Like it's really bad. Like it's somewhere online you can find it.
He said a racial slur over 40 times in one sitting as well.
It's insane. It's crazy. So that's what Cochran did. He found those tapes and he was like, okay, let's just flip the script. We're gonna just make it a race case.
This detective was the first man at OJ's residence.
Yeah.
When this all happened.
Yeah, because he's the one that found the blood-stained right glove.
Yeah. So they're making the claim that this detective kind of framed it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And also, the glove was too small.
Well, how would he
That's crazy,
how would
y'all.
he get OJ's blood? I don't know. I feel like that's hard to...
That's another thing, too.
Yeah, wait, how did
he sneak in there?
Did OJ get, like, hurt at all during... Did he get hurt?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So how did his blood get on it?
There's
that's
multiple
a good
ways that could have happened. Maybe like he accidentally like cut himself while.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it, dude. He's fighting off two people.
Yeah, he's fighting two people. Like there's numerous ways blood could have got on his glove. I think.
Yeah, especially his own blood. Like if he's killing him with a knife, like it's 100% like a way he could have cut himself.
Did they find like anyone else's blood on the gloves or just his?
They found Nicole and Ron's blood.
Yes.
On the gloves.
Okay. Well, got it. So all three. Okay.
And the prosecution team was against OJ trying on the glove because the glove had been frozen and unfrozen multiple times.
But
so
why?
It shrink.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the stuff with like the what do you call it? It's like something about like the blood, like it was already covered in blood, and then you said like it'd been frozen and unfrozen, so it shrinks.
Right.
And then another thing is too, they I don't know if you guys watched like the newest documentary that came out, but they were saying how like if you look at OJ's hands, like when they actually went into like trial to try on the glove, he had like fat fingers. Like it was like you know the reason for that, they were pumping IV into him to make his fingers make it harder for his hands to fit in. So it's like there are plenty of ways to get around. That's why the prosecution didn't want him to try on that glove. Is because they're like, oh, they're gonna just figure out a way to be like, as soon as that, like that's their piece of evidence right there. Be like, it's framed. Like there you go.
I feel like the glove alone is not enough evidence.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Who's to say he couldn't wear a glove that doesn't fit? Like,
that's what I'm saying. And that's like, I think the glove. I mean, they have interviews with him wearing the same exact pair of gloves, like on like Sunday Night Football and stuff. They have videos of him wearing those gloves, like
they were OJ's gloves.
Yeah, like that's like I'm like, and they fit fine.
It's not like it wasn't like going on his hand at all. Like it was just barely.
I just think there's so much with that case. It's just like so dramatic. Like there's the slow speed car chase.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Let's talk about how crazy that chase was.
I never heard about that.
Me neither.
Oh, about the Bronco chase?
No,
that's iconic.
My god.
That is speed car chase.
Yeah, this thing was. Yeah, my dad's told me a little bit about it because he was. He would said that he was at a bar at the time watching it. This thing was such a big deal that they took off the NBA Finals, like Allen Iverson playing, and they put it in the corner to show the car chase.
No way.
No, they did. Yeah.
This like,
I've heard these stories
how
from my
fast
dad as
are they
well.
going? Do you know?
We have evidence from both y'all's dads. It has
I don't know how fast. I mean, they weren't really. They were just going down the freeway, and there's people like on the bridges of the freeway, like with like signs and stuff, like yelling at OJ. Like, he was just driving like for a while. Like,
oh my god,
it was crazy. Like, just think about right now. Like, imagine if we were watching the NBA Finals and what would be, let's say Saquon Barkley was getting chased by the police down LA freeway. Like, that would be crazy.
That's insane. I gotta check that out for sure.
No, same.
No, to go back to this Jason Simpson thing. This is, I think, the most popular like alternate suspect theory.
Right.
So Bill Deere, this guy is a world-renowned detective. He was inducted into the Police Hall of Fame. He chased a hunch that Jason is the one. He was like convinced that Jason is the one who did this.
Okay.
And Jason, like you said, had obtained multiple cases of domestic abuse against girlfriends in the past.
Right.
And Deere illegally obtained medical records that Jason had intermittent rage disorder and was off his meds at the time of the murder.
Oh wow.
And well, Jason's alibi for this was that he was working that night, and he had a written time card that he signed in. But the thing is, the electronic time card was fully functioning that night. So he written that after.
exactly.
But also, is there a reason why he would want to kill? You know,
I heard
that
he was like kind of really close with Nicole, like
really
in like a weird way. I don't know.
Oh.
I also like
this guy's also just crazy.
Nicole claimed that Jason had been stalking her, so that's one reason that I considered Jason as a suspect.
Yeah. No, I think. I mean, it's definitely not far, but like, who would have covered up for him? Do you think that OJ would have covered up for him?
That's what they're claiming.
Was there like
OJ left his son he left his son a lot, and they were saying OJ was at the scene of the crime first because he was covering his son's tracks. That's what they're claiming.
Right.
Did they have like a good relationship between each other?
That
OJ and Jason?
I'm not completely sure of, but I mean, it is his son.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, valid.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of
a
little bit off topic, but have you guys ever seen, like, what is it, that Apple TV series, Jake Gyllenhaal? It's like a lawyer on Presumed Innocence.
That sounds familiar. I haven't seen it.
That theory reminds me a lot of that show. Y'all should give it a watch.
All right, yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll talk about it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think OJ did it? Do you guys think that Jason did it?
I think it had to be OJ.
I don't know. I mean, there's way too much evidence.
It's the gloves. It's also the gloves now. It's like, why would Jason have on OJ's gloves?
Right. Exactly.
I saw a poll taken in 2014 that 83% of people think O.J. Simpson murdered Nicole and Ron. 83%.
People no idea how he was walking free at all.
Yeah.
I ever see too. They like had to change that. They like both sides obviously were like changing the jury. They like handpicked that jury pretty much. They just found all these biases about each person, and they're just like.
And they had to be like really careful because his trial happened right after the Menendez brothers trial.
Maybe like a lot of the people on jury were like fans of his, you know, like
well,
just
that was
like
the thing,
just like how like Young Thug got locked up, everyone's like Free Thug. It's probably it's probably the same situation for OJ.
Oh, definitely. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Y'all heard anything about like the Tupac stuff?
Tupac,
yeah. What do you guys think about that? All right, Chris, you want to talk about introduce us a little bit into it?
Well, there's I don't know too much about it. There was a little bit of there's a conspiracy. Nobody really knows who killed Tupac.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there is another conspiracy that he may still be alive or on an island in Cuba.
Or Malaysia.
Or Chile, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that. So he attended a Mike Tyson fight, and we all know, like, I don't know if y'all know this, but he ran into a he ran into a Crip in the casino, right? So he got into a fight with him, and that guy's name was Orlando Anderson. So that guy was a prime suspect, and a lot of like. When he was in the car, a lot of his entourage people told the police that Orlando Anderson shot at Tupac. Like, Orlando Anderson is your guy. You got to get this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I was looking into that, but that guy ended up dying. He ended up getting shot in, like, a gang shooting or something. So, like, they kind of switched off from that guy to then Biggie because Biggie had beef with him. It was like some like East Side, West Side.
So that was the whole that was the whole thing. It was because was it they pretty much said was it West Side that was like
I don't remember who's on which side. I'm not even gonna lie.
No West. Yeah, it was
West Side is Biggie, right?
Yeah. They like pretty much.
No, I think
East
Side is Biggie.
East Side, East Side's Biggie. West Side's Tupac. But they like West Side pretty much like started like kind of like taking like a lot of the stuff like they're like West Side's new like head of rap and shit. So
I really don't know what happened because they used to be cool. Like they came up together.
They came up together.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what happened, but I know that like Biggie dropped a diss track on Tupac called "Who Shot Ya" after after Tupac got shot like. The first time. He's been shot several times. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, after that, Tupac dropped a diss track on Biggie, basically claiming that he slept with Biggie's girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
that's horrible.
like, obviously, like, a lot of eyes were on Biggie for that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to take a lot of pride.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But later, Biggie was shot. I don't remember how much later. So they like kind of moved on from him to Suge Knight, which was the label manager of Death Row Records that Tupac was signed with. So Tupac was he was leaving the record to start his own label. So I don't think Suge Knight would let that slide, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean,
so
he was in a seat of like one of Suge Knight's like BMWs, like the night he was killed.
Yeah, Suge Knight was in the car with Tupac. Yeah.
So
when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like people were saying like maybe Suge Knight put a hit on him, but I don't know. I feel like
why would he want to be
well,
there?
Do we
right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do we know
I feel
who's
like
like
it's unlikely though.
Yeah.
driving the car?
I think Suge Knight was driving. I think
might have been. I don't know. It probably was like they probably had a driver.
probably.
Or that,
More
yeah.
than likely had a driver.
No, actually,
they're famous,
fact check that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can.
A lot of people believe it is Suge Knight, just because like that dude was absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
Suge Knight was driving the car.
Wow.
He was.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so-
suspicious.
That's very suspicious.
So there is. Have you guys heard that there is a guy that's on trial right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Dwayne Keith D.
Yeah.
Davis.
Yeah.
And they said that he orchestrated like the whole thing, but like the
And-
trial just got postponed to February 9th, 2026.
Oh wow, yeah, because it was supposed to happen in 2023.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I heard he was going around claiming, oh, like I was involved with like the shooting and everything. Like
He just started randomly
basically
claiming it
like
30 years later.
I guess.
What?
I guess
Okay.
no. I heard that like he's been doing it. Like he was like kind of bragging about it, like as a Crip, you know.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess what was Tupac Blood?
I believe so. Yeah.
Let's see. We'll look it up.
Yeah, because it says that Keith D was a former gang member as well. So is he in the?
Tupac was not a part of the Bloods or Crips. He was affiliated with both gangs. However that works.
I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think
you
you
do
can.
that.
No, I don't think you can do that. That's suspicious.
I mean,
I
my
guess-
street knowledge isn't too high, but
Yeah, but I really don't think you can do that.
I think it was just like a East Side West Side thing. Like Crips didn't like his side or whatever.
Yeah, but also we don't know how like gang activity was like back then.
yeah.
Right.
It could be like completely different now.
So what do you guys think about this whole conspiracy that he faked his death and moved to Cuba or Malaysia?
Well, there's
I think Tupac died.
Yeah.
I don't know, because also it's like, well, after he died, like more of his music was released.
You're
So
right.
it's like, yeah, was it like pre-recorded or?
I think it was pre-recorded.
I mean, it probably was,
Yeah.
but also there is that chance that it wasn't.
Yeah, he dropped seven records after his death.
7
Is
records?
a lot,
Yeah.
but
That-
I mean, yeah, you gotta think about like, for example, Juice WRLD after he
Yeah.
died.
Right.
Well,
The
yeah, and
amount of
Mac
music.
Miller, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's like they have all
That's
the
their
audio
job.
files.
Like, they literally do that
they
all
got
day.
so much.
Yeah.
All right, that kind of brings me like a music industry kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
More
for sure.
recent. Wait, you guys want to talk a little bit about Diddy?
Ooh.
Talk a little bit about Diddy. Yeah. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Do you guys know a lot about it?
What's the conspiracy there, though?
yeah,
I guess like
I mean,
the
he's locked up for it.
Yeah, I guess the conspiracy. Well, it's technically, I guess, conspiracy
Well, it's
right
like-
now because
it's
he's
like
denying.
murders.
Yeah,
Oh.
It's
yeah.
people that have died and
Oh.
who like which celebrity wasn't, like celebrities were involved, which ones weren't.
I feel there's no way he can deny that after like.
Oh, y'all.
I've seen a
Y'all.
So many.
What?
It says that many theories claim that Diddy played a role in orchestrating the 1996 murder of Tupac.
Really?
What?
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, they're saying like the whole other conspiracy about it too is that like he was pretty much like the music industry version of Epstein. Like
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, like
For sure.
they're just
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, he-
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I mean, you don't know, like, obviously there hasn't been a trial yet, so really this is all conspiracy right now.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
you can really just, like, there isn't really anything we know for fact yet.
Ooh.
He definitely had
I
some-
feel like he definitely
he's definitely
did.
a little-
Oh,
Oh,
100%. Like,
no.
if you're- like,
Have
with
you
all the
seen-
people that are, like, coming out. Have you seen that documentary that came out?
Yeah, I think I
haven't
saw like the
watched it
first
yet.
episode of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, it's,
Yeah,
but, like,
it's
just
a lot
like,
of celebrities are involved, Joel.
Yeah.
So many. There's
Also,
so
A
many.
lot of people are getting canceled for being even associated.
Yeah,
associated
at the
with it.
parties.
Like, even I saw like Kevin
all these
Hart,
clips,
like
all these clips coming out of people
was
being like tight with Diddy like 10 years ago.
Yeah, even
all,
Trump.
Like, being questioned.
Yeah.
Even Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even Trump. Yeah.
No, there's actually a lot of connections with Tupac and Diddy.
Really?
It says that Keith D alleged that Diddy offered $1 million to have Tupac and Suge Knight killed.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And then Diddy has denied all allegations, but Keith D's arrest in 2023 reignited speculation.
I mean, yeah, that'll probably come out a little bit in his trial.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nah.
And then he was also part of Biggie's murder.
Really?
Yes.
Diddy was?
Yeah. He was a close friend and business partner with Biggie.
Okay.
So why would he murder him then?
It says he had a hidden role in his killing. Oh, Diddy may have felt Biggie was a liability and allowed for his murder to avoid retaliation.
Is this all just recently coming out though, or is this
I
like
believe so.
Yeah, I feel like that might just be stuff because his name's in the news. And
But
exactly.
here's
You can
another
time
thing
anything
too.
now
He was a
because-
hothead. Like you see, like, and then that documentary, like, dude, he was like scary. Bro.
No.
Like when
Really?
he got mad, like,
Yeah.
like they showed like all the stuff with like his like personal chef and stuff and everything, like their testimonies, like he was like they were genuinely terrified of him.
No,
like,
he has anger issues.
I don't think there's a debate that Diddy's a little weirdo and he's a hothead or anything like that.
Yeah, no, there definitely isn't. But like, I mean,
He's definitely a weirdo.
given that, I mean, like. He's a freak. I mean, like, and he's a hothead. Like, I really don't like. And what to do with that much power? Well, here's another thing too. It all comes from like this. Is what that documentary talked about was like apparently he was like really abused by his mom growing up. Like his mom used to like really beat on him a lot. Like, and she just kind of like let out a lot of stuff. So I think that kind of like power dynamic kind of grew up, and then as soon as he got something, like you have to remember this guy was the biggest dude in New York City. Like he owned like a record label. He like had all the biggest artists on that
he was
record
like
label.
one of the biggest people in the music industry.
Yeah, so like it was. I don't really think it's very far fetched to say like maybe he did have something involved in like Tupac's because he was also East Side too.
Yeah,
like, that's another thing.
Yeah, I totally believe it.
Yeah.
But no, have y'all seen that clip of? I think it was like Diddy's son or something at Diddy's house, and he had like 2 beds on his basketball court. Like that alone, I was like,
did y'all see it? Did y'all see that big bed?
He did everything. Huh?
Big bed in his backyard.
In his backyard?
Oh
No, he has like an extra large bed in his backyard.
Yeah, nah, keep
and it's all
that
white.
there, bro.
Yeah, he was. There was something up with him. I'm excited to see some stuff like really come out.
Oh,
in this
yeah.
Case.
Oh
like,
yeah.
There
will be a lot.
That case is gonna be.
it was
I think
definitely-
there's a lot of people that'll go down with Diddy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably already getting threats and everything right now. There's
Yeah.
probably people telling him to shut up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We better keep
But
his
also,
mouth shut
like,
there.
who in the music industry will actually talk and speak up?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I
Because
mean,
also
it's
that
like, what was it? The one girl that,
He was
one of his girlfriends
Yeah.
that, like, was the first one that came out about him. And then, like, years went by or something like that. And then, like, I can't remember. Do you, like, I can look it up.
Is it Miss? I don't know. Kim Porter.
Yeah, I think it was Kim Porter. It was the one, the most, like, there was one that came out, and then, like, once she came out and said something about it, like, a flood of people started coming out about it and being like, you know what, she's not lying. Like,
Yeah, people who have, like, been abused by him have, like, come out, but also...
Yeah, and also, like, you could see, like, the cases of him, like, I mean, like, you've seen the videos of him, like, beating up on, like, like, women. Like, he was bad, dude.
Yeah.
He was really bad. Well, I mean, I guess we're pretty much at our time limit.
Yeah.
Go ahead and like drop a comment on what you guys think about all these conspiracies. There's a lot of crazy stuff with what we just talked about here.
Yeah. So much.
Yeah. It's definitely one of our more controversial episodes.
For sure.
And again, you can't take anything we say as fact. It's all, we're just tossing ideas around, talking about rumors, speculating.
Our thoughts, our opinions.
Yeah, well, make sure to tune in next week. We're going to talk about government conspiracy theories. That should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Drop some comments of people that you would possibly want us to talk about on our next episode.
Some theories you want to see us discuss.
Yes.
All right, in that case...
Also do not forget to check out our Instagram and our TikTok.
Yes.
And like and subscribe.
100%. All right. Thank you.
Thank
you for listening.